That's fine. Yeah. He needs a video to go over her. I gotta wait for the camera and this thing. Zero tolerance. Zero tolerance.
Take it off, and that way we can do the march. And then after the march, that's when we'll come back and then do like the second half. Hey, we have you standing right after, right here after Gilead. And so you're going to be closing with the path. So right before the path. Yep, so it's a long list of speakers. So we got you right here. Okay, so should I speak to here? Okay, that's okay. What I can do is I can maybe introduce them all together, and then if you just want to say hello, and then hand it on to Annie to, that's fine. I'll introduce you together. Yes. Okay, perfect.
Okay, we are about to be getting started. Maybe one is you can step on both sides. Yeah. And then we can see a better on both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, most of them, I know, like living in the group, you never really did it. ใช่
You need one of the professional ones.
Yeah.
Hi, Rick De Silva. Great to have you all here. Yeah, let's see. Do you have anything you want to hold up for Then you can
Yeah, may I have all the elected officials and the speakers to be in the back right here, please? Thank you.
That's important. Let's make sure we see those, sir. Okay, thanks. Let me see.
Okay, here.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Wow. These are my babies. Sure, sure. I get you a map. Oh, thank you.
Oh, I want to make sure that Untitled Church Pastor Cynthia Watt will be here. If you are here, please come on up and join us.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Stephanie Tran. I'm a board of director with the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce. We're going to start off today's event with a prayer, and I'm going to bring up Fa Yun Chan Temple, followed by Allen Temple Baptist Church and the Salvation Army. So Fa Yun Chan Temple.
I'll stay low, I promise.
Sorry, give us a moment. And I'd like to bring up our immediate past president and current board member of the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce, Rick De Silva.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Rick De Silva. I'm a board member with the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce and chair of the Government Affairs Committee. I'm also a board member with APAPA Greater Oakland, and I would like to welcome you all here today on behalf of those organizations and welcome you here to Oakland Chinatown. And today, we join other communities around the Bay Area and across the nation in a show of solidarity and community against anti-Asian hate and all forms of racism, violence, and hate. We are honored to have so many of our elected officials, community partners, and even international celebrities here with us today. I'd like to acknowledge some of them in particular. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf is here. Mayor Schaaf has been a great supporter of Chinatown and continues to be. Oakland City Council President Nikki Fortunato Bass. Oakland Council Member Dan Call. Oakland Council Member Sheng Tao. Oakland Council Member Lauren Taylor. Oakland Council Member Treva Reed. And actor Daniel Wu. I'd also like to welcome California State Attorney General Rob Bonta and Oakland Promise Chief Executive Officer, his wife Mia Bonta, California State Controller Betty Yee, Alameda County Supervisor Wilma Chan, Alameda County Supervisor Keith Carson, Alameda Mayor Ezzy Ashcraft, San Leandro Mayor Pauline Cutter. Congresswoman Barbara Lee is not here but has a statement for us. NCAA Oakland Branch President George Holland Sr., Asian Real Estate Association Greater East Bay President Justin Wong. We'd also like to welcome the Oakland League of Women Voters President Deborah Scheffler, the Black Women Organized for Political Action, 100 Black Men, Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce President and CEO, Kathy Adams, Oakland Vietnamese Chamber of Commerce Executive Director, Dr. Jennifer Tran, the Oakland Latino Chamber of Commerce, the Oakland Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce, Gilead Sciences Executive Vice President of Pharmaceutical Development and Manufacturing, Haiyin Yang, the American Indian Model School Superintendent, Mike Woods-Cadiz, as well as their Student Government President, Annie Chiu, APAPA President Joel Wong, former San Leandro Council member Benny Lee, and all others who have joined us here today, and I apologize if I missed anybody. At this time, I would like to start our event with a prayer that is going to be led by Yun Chan Temple, along with Pastor Cynthia Ward from Allen Temple Baptist Church and Captain Esther Zhu from the Salvation Army.
我哋請我哋法雲寺嘅法師深信法師請上嚟同我哋誦經祈福。
大家好，阿弥陀佛。今天我们站在美国这片土地上，应该感谢这个土地领土，因为它提供一个让世界不同民族、宗教和文化自由、自主、平等、共享的大舞台。但是更重要的是，我们将通过各民族优良传统的宗教之间互助、慈悲与智慧的精神，一起维护社会的和谐、人类的和平，共同推广人心向善的良好心态，互相尊重、慈悲友善、自利利他及人人平等的理念，实施于大家共同生存在这片土地上。最后，我们大家一起为人心的净化、社会的和谐、生命的共存一起祈福，跟着一起祈福念三称南无观世音菩萨，再念Om Mani Padme Hum。
Okay, so this is a Master Xing Shi from the Yun Temple. So I took take a quick translation, before she will go on with the chanting. So today, as we stand here, we should be grateful for this land because it serves as a global sharing platform for freedom, independence, and equality among people of different nationalities, religions, and cultures. But more importantly, we can work together to maintain the harmony of society and the peace of mankind through the valuable tradition of many nations and the mutual support, compassion, and wisdom respect, and among all religions. Let us promote kindness and implement the concepts of mutual respect, compassion, benevolence, and equality on this land. Lastly, let us all make a vow and pray for the purification of the mind, the harmony of society, and the coexistence of all life. So basically at this time, I'm sure would like to have this chanting with all of us.
好，我们大家用虔诚的心来祈祷。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。Om Mani Padme Hum, Om 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 Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme Hum。我最后做一个回向哈，以此颂作功德，回向世界和平，国运昌盛，社会和谐，地球疫情灾难消除，一切众生离苦得乐。愿以此功德普及一切国等与众生皆共成佛道。最后，我想请大家尽量多多祈祷。佛教徒祈祷佛菩萨加持，信仰上帝者祈祷上帝保佑。无论是宗教，无论是什么宗教，祈祷是一种积极善良的正能量心声，可以转化仇恨的心态，使人人平等共处。祝福大家一切平安吉祥。阿弥陀佛。
So it was a dedication of merits. We dedicate the merits of reciting the mantra to world peace, national prosperity, and social harmony. May the pandemic and all disasters in this world be dispelled, and all sentient beings be free from suffering and obtain joy. May the merits of our days reach every part of the world. May all sentient beings all attain enlightenment. Amitabha. Thank you so much. And at this time, I'm so proud to, thank you, to introduce my very good friend from the Untitled Chapter. And I've been knowing her for many, many years. And we've been doing this, uniting all of us together. And I'd like to welcome Pastor Cynthia Ward from Untitled Baptist Church.
Pastor Cheryl Ward, Associate Minister, Allen Temple Baptist Church. Would you join me now in prayer? Oh God, our Creator, we are grateful for another day and another opportunity to show a different narrative and a different picture other than the hate that we have seen over the last several months. Today we stand in unity. We stand in love. Now we pray, oh God, your protection over the elders of all of our communities. But we pray especially today of the protection over the elders of our API community. We pray, God, against the violence that has come up, the violent force. And it is not new. It is not news, for violence has come against people of color. So now, God, we speak peace into the land. We speak restoration. We pray now, oh God, that this sign of unity will be the new force and the reinforcement of that which you said, that we all may be one. We pray in the name of the God of our understanding. Amen.
And next we would like to bring up Captain Esther Chiu from Salvation Army.
我是在12街 Oakland Chinatown 的基督教的救世军，我是 Captain Esther 林牧师。现在我要带领大家一起来为这个城市，为我们亚裔来祷告。那一开始我要用我们基督教徒常常讲的话，哈利路亚，哈利路亚来做开始。让我们一起奉耶稣的名来祷告。首先，我们要为大家一起在乌伦华埠聚集，同心合意的在这里庆祝我们1年1度的5月亚裔传统月，跟亚裔一起在这里为停止对亚裔的仇恨发声，来向上帝献上感谢。此刻我们祷告，上帝呀，你的荣耀现在就来充满这整个城市。好像那个海水充满大海一样，荣耀要充满这个地方。上帝啊，要请你来祝福，不但是亚裔的美好传统文化跟资产，要继续在乌伦社区跟美国各地发光，更进一步要带领跟祝福我们亚裔这个族群。要在乌伦跟美国的7大山头的领域里面做首不作为，当领袖，分别在娱乐、商界、宗教、媒体、教育、家庭、政府这7大领域里面造成更多的影响力，让亚裔来祝福美国的各个族群。不是被欺负的弱小团体，是当头的，是做领袖的。上帝啊，你是赐我们丰盛的神，求你来赐福给乌伦的居民跟所有做生意的商家，使乌伦这个城市充满了平安跟繁荣，让这地的百姓都行在圣洁跟公义当中。现在我要奉你拿撒勒人耶稣的圣名要来宣告，耶稣你是荣耀的君王，你要用你的大能大力来视为保护这个城市跟居民的平安。我们还要宣告，一切仇敌对待亚裔的仇恨行为，这种的邪恶的权势，现在就必须离开这地。我们命令他们离开，他们也必须要离开。我们奉靠耶稣基督的宝血洁净，破除这些仇恨亚裔的咒诅，然后将一切的仇敌都远远赶出这地，让乌伦在上帝大大的祝福中，居民不再因为仇恨亚裔的行为跟事件而担心受怕。相反的，乌伦要成为一个丰盛的城市，可以使人安居乐业的城市。上帝啊，求你的福气现在就大大的赐下，厚厚的赐下，福气遍满乌伦这个城市，与每一位同在。上帝啊，我们相信你必要大大的祝福我们。哈利路亚！我们谢谢你，耶稣。我们在你的同在中喜乐，愿喜乐和欢笑充满我们所在的社区，让我们亚裔跟其他的族群一起继续同心合意的一起来建造这个城市。我这样的祷告是奉耶稣基督的圣名来祷告的，阿们，哈利路亚。
Thank you to Fa Yun Chun Temple, Allen Temple Baptist Church, and Salvation Army for leading our prayers today. Next, I would like to introduce the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce President, Carl Chan.
Good morning, and thank you. And I think, with all this blessing, I think we're so blessed that having every one of you here. My name is Carl Chen. I'm the president of the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce. I'm also the chair for the Papa Great Oakland Chapter, but also a proud member of the ARIA, among other things. I think today I'm just being myself here and supporting, and like all of you together. And after me is going to be our Mayor Libby Chef, and also along with many our council members, many elected officials, and of course we have our wonderful friend and especially now is an activist, actor Daniel Wu, among other elected officials. So at this time, I want to say thank you for all of you for joining us. I know that the chamber and many of us, we've been doing so much to protect our community against hate and against attack. And recently, I know many of you do know that I was being cowardly attacked from behind. So I was a victim, but I refuse to be a victim. I want to be a supporter. I want to stand up by all of you together, working together, and bring all communities together and fighting racism. And I've been doing that for a while. And it's preparing me. I have to tell you an incident I didn't want to talk about for many, many years. I immigrated here as a little kid. When I was in Hong Kong as a kid, many years ago, it was a colony of a British colony. Remember the one incident? I was finished school and walking to the bus stop and trying to go home. And I saw passing this park, and there was one little Chinese kid. He was bullied by a few British kids. I just want you to know at the time, many of us being Chinese in Hong Kong, we are kind of like a second-class citizen. But when this bully happened, you know what I did? I was there and say, stop, don't do that. And guess what? And all these big bullies, a group of them, they stopped. But what they did, they are focusing on me. The one I tried to save, and guess what happened? He ran away. There were many people watching. So guess what happened next? This group of bullies, they stopped beating me up and pushing me down on the ground. So I kept coming up. I said, and then you know what? All the people there, with about 50, 100 people there, I thought they would be helping me. But guess what? They did not. They just stood there. They stood by. They just standing by. And you know what they said? They laughed at me. They said that I was so stupid. I should stay down. But I refused. I refused to be down. I want to stand up. And on that day, I still remember my white uniform, school uniform, turned bloody red. When I got home, my mom couldn't even recognize me. And, you know, at that day, I still remember, even many people were there. I was the only one standing up. But today, there are many of you, community leaders, friends and family, and our elected officials from city, county, state, and also people I don't know. And guess what? You are all standing up with me. So let's give ourselves a big hand. I don't want to keep on talking because we're many wonderful speakers. So we are asking to do three things. Number one, what we want unity. Let's say unity. And second, we want to support our local business. Support local business. To make change, guess what we need to do? Vote. Vote. We were going to have a march. So what we'd like to do at this time, there are many speakers, and what we'll do, after all the speakers, we will start this march, and then we'll tell you what we're going to do. At about 12 noon, we will stop at the moment, because in the entire country, besides this country, we have Canada, Australia, and many other countries, over about 120 to 200 organizations getting together at the same time and do the same rally. At 12 noon, we're asking our good friend, actor Daniel Wu, to blow the yellow whistle at 12 noon together. But before that, I'm so proud and excited to have introducing my good friend, our good friend, your mayor, Mayor Libby Chef. Let's give her a big hand. After that, we will have all our council members to come on up. And then after that, we'll have a mayor of Alameda to speak after that.
大家好。How are you doing today, Chinatown? How are you doing today, Oakland?
市長問大家今日好唔好？今日屋倫好唔好啊？
I have spent my whole life with deep pride and deep gratitude to be born and raised in Oakland, California, America's most unapologetic sanctuary city.
市長話佢係喺屋倫土生土長，呢個令到佢非常之驕傲同埋自豪，同埋我哋嘅城市亦都係一個庇護城市，係保護所有嘅人嘅。
And what gives me pride in Oakland is not its beautiful weather, which is taking a break today, is not its incredible architecture, physical beauty, but its people.
咁佢話令到屋倫咁偉大咁好嘅，除咗係唔係佢嘅美麗，唔係佢嘅建築，係佢嘅人民。
One of those people is Carl Chan, who just beautifully introduced me just now. Carl Chan called me actually I called him right after I learned that he had been attacked, that someone who so lovingly stands up for unity in this city was himself a victim of hate crime. And through our tears, because we brought each other to tears, Carl did what Oaklanders do. And instead of being in his own trauma, his own harm, his own pain, he said, Libby, can you come to this rally that I'm putting together? That's Carl.
市長話佢發現陳生俾人襲擊之後，佢就馬上打電話俾陳先生，咁佢哋兩個都傾到非常之感動同埋流淚。咁其中一樣嘢佢好欣賞陳先生嘅就係佢雖然係身為受害人，但係佢冇因為呢個而影響到佢，佢反而同市長話佢有一個集會係講呢個大家要共同一齊反對仇恨，希望佢嚟參加呢個集會，所以市長今日就嚟咗呢度啦。
For 4 long years, Oakland has been the center of the resistance to stand up against hate that was coming from the highest levels of government. Well, now it is our turn to be the center of the insistence, an insistence that leaders lead with love, with peace, with unity.
屋倫一路以嚟都係一個反仇恨嘅中心，咁市長希望我哋繼續一股衝勁，去繼續可以用愛同埋團結嚟反對呢個仇恨嘅。
I am so proud and grateful to be the mayor of Oakland, where individuals and community members and organizations have stepped forward in this moment to wrap their arms around Chinatown and every individual or group that has been subjected to hate, to discrimination, to distance from opportunity. This is our moment to say no longer.
市長非常之驕傲，今日嚟到咁多嘅人啦，咁多嘅組織團體，大家一齊反對呢個仇恨，反對呢個歧視，係非常之值得大家驕傲嘅。
I want to recognize organizations like Gilead Sciences that came forward with a $100,000 contribution to Chinatown to enhance safety right here in this neighborhood. And have also been part of a very well-named campaign called Oakland Undivided to ensure that every young person has the tools of distance learning so that this pandemic could not rob our children of their education. Thank you, Gilead.
咁市長特別多謝 Gilead Science 公司，因為佢哋為呢個華埠捐咗10萬蚊，係裝呢個安全嘅設施攝錄機嘅。咁另外亦都佢哋係非常之支持我哋嘅城市去幫助啲學生，等佢哋都可以喺呢個遙距上學嗰時候有。
This is the unbreakable spirit of Oakland, like Carl said, of unity, of supporting our small businesses, of coming together as a community to insist that we walk forward in love and unity and lifting up those who have been harmed in the past. Thank you, Oakland, California. I am so proud and grateful.
咁就正如陳生所講啦，咁我哋應該用愛團結同埋支持我哋嘅本地商業，咁大家一齊可以為呢個我哋偉大嘅城市同埋我哋嘅州去反對呢個仇恨嘅。多謝大家。
多謝。
Thank you, Mayor Schaaf, for being here today. Next, I would like to bring up Alameda Mayor Ezzy Ashcroft.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And a special thank you to Carl Chan and the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce and other organizers of this event. I am honored to join other elected officials, including my fellow mayors and all of you today, but I am saddened and angered by the reason for this gathering, the continuing increased incidents of violence toward our residents of Asian American and Pacific Islander descent. Am I supposed to wait for translation? Okay, all right. As many of you know, Carl Chan was recently assaulted in broad daylight just blocks away from where we stand today. When I learned of the attack, I immediately texted Carl to check on him. And those of you who know Carl won't be surprised by his reply. Carl texted back, "Luckily, it was me and not another senior. Otherwise, I will be so upset. I will stay strong." But Carl, no one should have to experience what you and too many other Asian American Pacific Islander community members have experienced. On behalf of the City of Alameda, where almost 1/3 of our residents are people of AAPI descent, including several distinguished individuals who are here to speak to you today, I join you in condemning racism, xenophobia, violence, discrimination, harassment, and harmful rhetoric. And I commit to making my city a safe place for people of AAPI descent to live, work, run their businesses, and visit. I also want to celebrate the many achievements, contributions, and sacrifices of the AAPI community. You are valued members of our communities, including our healthcare workers and other essential workers who saved lives and kept our communities functioning during the COVID-19 pandemic. We honor you, we thank you, and we stand with you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mayor Ashcroft. Next, I would like to bring up Oakland District 1 Councilmember Dan Cobb and Oakland District Councilmember of District 4, Sheng Tao.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sheng Tao, and I represent District 4 in this beautiful city of Oakland. You know, I stand with you all today in my traditional wear. I am Hmong American, and I am proud of it. My eyes does not bring hate. My skin does not bring hate. My hair, how straight it is, does not bring hate. We, as Asian Americans, we are not a virus. We belong here, and it's about time that everybody realize the great diversity that we bring. We are not all the same. Here we have Chinese Americans, we have Korean Americans, we have Hmong Americans, we have Southeast Asians, brothers and sisters standing here with us. And I am proud to stand here united with many of our Oaklanders, our Oakland brothers and sisters, no matter what color you are, what religion you are, to say, we stand here united against hate, against the hatred that we have seen across the nation, across the world, or, towards our Asian brothers and sisters, especially our seniors. Stop the hatred, stop the violence. I stand proud today wearing my Hmong ethnic clothing because I am Hmong American, and I am proud of it, and I will stand here and fight for that every single day. Every single day. I hear you. It makes me sad. It makes me want to cry because you know what? That could have been my mom. That could have been my dad, just minding their own business, going on with their life to go to the grocery store or what have you. It is not okay that our seniors, that our API brothers and sisters, that anybody is afraid to step out of their home because they feel like they may be attacked for doing the same daily things that we all do in our lives. It is not appropriate, and we need to demand for better. And we need to lead that charge. We as leaders, every single one of you are leaders in this community. We will show everybody how Oakland is united. And as Oakland goes, the rest of the nation and the rest of the world will go with us as well. United we stand.
Hi, my name is Dan Cobb, City Council Member District 1, North Oakland. I'm very proud to be here. But I have to say that I wish we could be here to say we need to work with our small businesses to get out of the COVID pandemic and have a strong recovery. That should be the reason we're here. But instead, with all the violence, with all the hate, we have to have a rally to do what we shouldn't be doing at all. We shouldn't have any hate at all. We should be no violence at all. Yet we have to have a rally, a determination to stop that. And that's what this is about today. I am here to support, to be part of the Unity Coalition to say no to violence, no to hate. It's always bad if somebody commits violence because of a robbery, because of something that you have, some possession you have, and they want to take it away from you. But when that violence is not because of what you have, but because of who you are, that's different. That is tremendously different and much worse. So we have to work together, be together to make sure all of us, all of you, all Asian American communities, plural, feel protected, feel safe in their home, in their business, walking down the street. If we can't do that, we are failing. We will do that. We are here to together, all the communities, Asian American communities, Latinx communities, African American communities, Jewish communities, the entire city, the entire East Bay. We will work together to make sure people are protected, to reduce and stop the hate, to stop the violence, and to live our lives the way we all want to, together in safety and health. Thank you so much for being here today. We will work together to make this happen.
Thank you, Councilmember Shang and Dan. Next, I would like to bring up San Leandro Mayor Pauline Cutter.
Just real quick, I know that we will be passing out the yellow whistles. I know either Jessica or Iowa can help us because we have many yellow whistles to be passing out. So that we'll blow a whistle around 12 o'clock.
Hello, and thank you for asking me to be here. Representing San Leandro, I know what has been in the news lately is older gentleman was walking down the street minding his own business and was attacked for his Fitbit. And one of the children, an 11-year-old child, did the attack with a 17-year-old. And they laughed about it. And what does that say about where we are in our world? We need to make sure that our world grows up. It needs to be educated from the bottom up. And we need to make sure as adults, we teach our children that we can't have this kind of hate. You shouldn't matter the color of your skin. It shouldn't matter who you love. It shouldn't matter the kinds of things you believe in. We are all people and we all need to live here together. And so I say that San Leandro is committed to doing this education. I know our mayors around the Bay Area are committed, and the people, the parents out there need to also do this education for their children. With that, I want to say thank you for being here. San Leandro is also hosting another Asian event, AAPI event tomorrow. at 11 o'clock at our library for 3 hours. It'll be dancing and celebrations of the different cultures in San Leandro that we have for the AAPI group. But I really do want to take this time to say thank you for being here. Thank you for raising up and just saying that we can't continue this hate. We need to move on. Thank you. And then, thank you. And also, we've done 3 proclamations actually in San Leandro. And the last one we've done 2 weeks ago. And I brought it here today to give to Carl Chan, who was representing you at the meeting 2 weeks ago. So thank you.
It is real, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Cutter. Next, I would like to bring up California State Controller Betty Yee and Alameda County Supervisor Keith Carson. And we also have Alameda County Supervisor Wilma Chan.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, friends, for joining today in our Unity March and Rally Against Hate. You know, I think about why we're all here, and whether you're of the API community, the Black community, Latino community, whether you're LGBTQ, we're here to fight the virus of hate, not the virus of being our authentic selves. And I want to just say to all of you who are here, we've seen too many news stories every day about what's happening in our communities. And really what we all want is for our sisters and brothers, for our aunties and uncles, for our gogoons and papas to be able to live safely, where they can be respected, where they are seen, where they are heard, and where they are valued. And so we're gathered here today in unity because we know what it takes to fight hate, and that is allyship and solidarity. And I just want to thank all the communities who are here today to support the AAPI community, to support our businesses, to not be silent anymore towards hatred and violence and discrimination, and to support our small businesses here. You know, we can beat this back together. Look at the power around us. We're going to exercise our collective power, our political power, our economic power, our social power, our generational power, our personal power to fight back hate and discrimination. And let's be sure that we don't stay silent anymore. It means voting. If you're not registered to vote, register and vote. And if you're not speaking out when you're seeing somebody getting hurt or being attacked, we need to speak out. This is how we're going to beat this back. And so thank you to all of you for coming forward. Thank you for standing together with our community. And we know together we will not only beat back hate and be victorious in fighting back hate, but we will heal together as well. Thanks, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Supervisor Wilma Chan. I'm here with the board president, Keith Carson. I have been working on anti-Asian violence for over 50 years, and I've represented this community for over 30 years. I'm going to have a slightly different message today, and that's a message of hope. The Asian American communities have been through this before, from the 1898 Exclusion Act, to the internment of the Japanese, to the Vincent Chin killing. This has happened year after year, and our communities are very resilient. What is a miracle today is the US Senate has passed a bill condemning Asian violence. Many people have come together, and although this is heinous, especially the attacks on our elderly community, I believe we will get through this. So I want to say to the community, you need to be strong. You need to know that we have a history of strength and resistance, that we can get through this together. We have our sheriff's office helping here. We have a lot of people doing workshops. We have a lot of people with ideas of how we can stop hate. And I do want to say that I really hope that we will not have interracial conflicts either Black on Asian violence or Asians hating African Americans. This does nobody any good in a time when we're all suffering from the pandemic and from economic uncertainty. We're trying to get back on our legs. So I want you to be hopeful today. I want you to know that you can be strong. I want you to know that you can protect yourselves and count on government and other people to protect you. Thank you.
As an Alameda County supervisor, when I go to visit our social service agency, a place where people go for help, in the waiting room, I always see disproportionately African American, brown people, Native Americans, Asians, Pacific Islanders, waiting to get help. When I go to visit our healthcare, our public healthcare institutions, our community clinics, our mental health institutions that we oversee, I disproportionately see Black, brown, Native American, Asian Pacific Islander people in need of service. When I go out to our jails, I disproportionately see Black, brown, Native American, Asian people in jail. I say this because of the fact that we have too much that is in common with all of us to divide us. When I look at the people who are low-wage workers, unemployed, they are Black, brown, Native American, Asian, Native Pacific Islander individuals. Too much in common. So just like my colleague said, Wilma Chan said earlier, we can't have Black on Black crime. We can't have Black on Asian or brown crime. We can't have Asian and brown on Black crime. We have to come together and fight this together. We have to come out of our silos, and talk to each other about our common struggle in this country, the racism that has existed in this country, the institutional racism that exists in this country that affects all of us. That way, coming out of our silos, we will overcome this racism that's taking place. And so I stand with you in solidarity.
Thank you, Betty, Keith, and Wilma. Next, I would like to bring up the NAACP Oakland branch, George Collins, Sr.
Good morning. This is a very important occasion for all of us. The NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, has been around 112 years. We were found fighting discrimination and violence. We do not condone the violence that has been brought to the Asian and Pacific Island community. It has to stop. We don't condone it. And I say to all of you, what we have to do is say to those persons who are the perpetrators of this violence to stop it, stop it, stop it. We've had enough. It can't continue. Each of you has a responsibility of making sure that you tell your neighbors and your friends and relatives that we cannot condone what's going on. This country is being threatened. So we have to try to unite. So United Against Hate is a theme this morning. We should also adopt that as an everyday theme. Don't forget, we can stop this. So remember, those persons, I'm speaking to you who are perpetrating this violence, to stop it, stop it, stop it. Make it difficult for all of us. So I thank all of you for coming this morning. And the NAACP has a responsibility because I've been called and contacted by a number of people trying to recall any event that they've had that was negative with the Asian community and the Pacific Islanders. We don't need to have hate on top of hate. We're trying to come together. So look to the NAACP, take the leadership to make sure that this hate is being stopped to the best that we can. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Holland, for being here today. Next, I would like to bring up Gilead Sciences Executive Vice President of Pharmaceutical Development and Manufacturing, Dr. Taiyin Yang.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to make a brief remark on behalf of Gilead Sciences. We are a biopharmaceutical company. And also thank you for all being here today. It's incredible to see business, government, community, and faith partners coming together to combat hate. For more than 30 years, Gilead has committed to creating a healthier world for everyone. And we worked tirelessly to bring medicines for life-threatening diseases. We are a California-based company with a very long history of supporting our many diverse employees and communities. We quickly spoke out, denouncing the violence and hate crimes against Asians. And when it got worse, we took action. We made several contributions, donations on both sides, both coasts, to organizations supporting the AAPI communities and neighborhoods. In addition, we reached out proactively to the mayors in the Bay Area, and we thank Mayor Schaaf and the city of Oakland for taking a leadership role in standing against violence and hate. So through a safety grant to the Oakland Chinatown Chamber of Commerce Foundation, Gilead is very proud to help protect and support the Chinatown community here, where many of our employees live. We're committed to your safety, especially as small businesses begin to reopen to vitalize the city. Again, I want to thank all the leaders here today for your commitment and partnership. So, on behalf of Gilead Sciences, I stand with and I support all of you against hate and violence. 大家加油! Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yang. Okay, so hello everybody. I'm Dylan Hong.
I'm Maxwell Taylor.
And we're 8th grade students at Headroy School. And thank you, Dr. Yang. So, here we go. As a member of the Asian community, it has been heartbreaking and devastating to see all of the recent hate crimes directed towards us Asians. We are rallying today to call out to our united community to spread your love and your care, and to call out and to stand in solidarity with the AAPI community.
The Asian people have already been struggling with the pandemic, but now they have to suffer even more with the everyday fear of getting assaulted or injured. That is why we are here to come together and make sure that hate will stop. Each individual here can be strong allies to the Asian community. Together, we can unite to eradicate Asian hate. Thank you.
And now we'll be introducing an alumni from our school and actor, Daniel Wu.
Okay, so as we promised, Daniel will be give a short speech, and he'll actually, those of you didn't have a whistle, pretend that you have one, okay? But I want to let you know that Daniel has actually turned to be an activist, going all over the country and advocating for our voice. So he's doing so much in supporting our community. So earlier, I've been asking people, you want me or you want Daniel? I know the answer. They want Daniel. So, ladies and gentlemen, give a big hand to Daniel Wu.
Let's first give a big hand to Carl Chan because he's been doing a lot of great work on the ground here. And on top of that, he was a victim, and this is a terrible thing. I got involved in this not because of who I am, but because I'm from Oakland. I grew up here, went to high school here, went to Ed Royce. I know this community is better than what's happening right now, and I know we can do better. We are clearly seeing, a result of the hatred that was spread over the last 8 years has disseminated down to the street level, and we're seeing it now. And so we need to fight against that. The solutions are not short term. We know that we can't solve these problems in the short term. There are long-term solutions. And it's great to see the community united together like this. And this is a great moment, but we need to keep pushing and get that door open and keep pushing through, end hate, end racism, and unite together. So let's stay united. One for Oakland. Yeah. All right. So, time to blow the whistle, is that right? Time to blow the whistle. This is happening all across the country right now. How long are we going to blow for?
As long as you can.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's take one big breath. And ready? 1, 2, 3, go. All right. One more time for United Oakland. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Daniel. And everyone's ready for the march, but we got a few more speakers left, and then we're going to go on a march. So appreciate you all for hanging around with us. So our next speaker I would like to bring up is the Oakland League of Women Voter President, Deborah Scheffler.
So before Deborah's coming up, I just want to introduce also our former Mayor Elihu Harris. Thank you for coming. From East Baymont Board, Bill Patterson, who has so many good friends are here. So at this time, okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we ask our area president, Justin Wong, to say a few words. Thank you for your hand to Justin.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm representing ARIA Greater East Bay, which is the Asian Real Estate Association of America. My name is Justin Wong, and I am a 5th generation Chinese American. My family has been here for a long time. I belong, my family belongs, we belong, okay? I know that in light of some of the changes that have been happening, while some things change, other things remain. I appreciate in the recent months, this past year, bringing awareness to the media coverage, to all the things that have been going on within our community. But I know that up to this point, we are past the awareness stage. We are looking for solutions. We are looking for our communities to move forward. So for today, for our national rally, Unity Against Hate, I appreciate where we're coming from. I appreciate where we're going to go. And I am hoping for future generations to remember this day and remember this as a memory in time as we step forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we will start our walk pretty soon, but at this time, let's bring up the Oakland League of Women's President Deborah Scheffler. If you're still here, or maybe in the back you can hear us. But anyway, so if not, let's go on to our next. I would like to invite the superintendent. Oh, you know what? Actually, Mia is here. Mia, want to come on up? Mia from Oakland Promise, and will be speaking right now. And then I know that many people, when they hear Bonter, okay, you might think of Rob Bonter, the state attorney general. So actually, I always refer Rob Bonter as, are you the husband of Mia Bonter? So Mia is the one, is actually the boss, because of woman power, right?
Thank you, Paul Chen. Let's hear it for woman power. Woo-hoo! Let's hear it here for our AAPI community. Let's hear it for our Black community. Let's hear it for our Latino Are we tired of being taken granted for? Are we tired of not necessarily making sure that we are seen, heard, and allowed to be us in our own skin? Yes, we are. Let us rise up in this moment. Rise up for our manongs and our manangs. Rise up for our abuelos and our abuelas. Rise up for our nanas and our grandpas, because this is our moment to make sure that we are seen, that we are heard, that we are loved. Our Asian and Asian Pacific Islander community, we are with you. We are united. Our youth need us to be strong, elders. Our elders need our youth to be powerful in this moment. Thank you for putting this together. Thank you for being unified in who we are. We love each other, and this is our moment to what? Rise up. Say it with us all. Rise up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mia. We appreciate you for being here today. Next, I would like to bring up the Oakland League of Women's Voter, Director of Voter Services, Peggy Braywell.
I'm here speaking for all of the leagues in the United States. Today, the League of Women Voters of the United States and the League of Women Voters of Georgia issued the following statement in response to the rise of hate crimes against the AAPI community, including the mass shootings across the Atlantic 16 on March 16th. So the League grieves the murders and the attacks of hate, and we oppose it, the tragic results, and we will stand in every way possible to protect our brothers and sisters in the Asian communities. So if you haven't registered to vote yet, you need to go over to that table over there and get registered. That's why we're here, so we can all participate in this wonderful democracy together. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy, and make sure you register to vote. There is a table here after March. You can also still register. Next, I would like to bring up the American Indian Model School Superintendent Maya Woods and their Student Government President Annie Chiu. Thank you.
Hello. I just want to say, first of all, that I denounce hate in any form. As a Black woman who is a mother of 2 children who are Black and Chinese Filipino American, as an aunt of children who are Black and Chinese American, and whose families on both sides, my family and their mother's side, have roots for her family in Chinatown and in my family in Oakland for 5 generations. I want to denounce hate. Say it with me. Denounce hate. Because that's right. We are stronger together. And proof of that is our wonderful Student Government President, Annie Chiu.
Hello, everyone. My name is Annie Chiu, and I am a senior from Ames College Prep High School. I stand here today as a proud Chinese American to fight and speak against the physical and verbal harassment our AAPI community has been enduring increasingly over time. This past year, all of our lives took an unexpected turn, and as we are all cooped up in our homes, we've become more divided and distant from quarantine. And in the midst of this pandemic, we have all also witnessed the rise in racial discrimination and injustices. We are now living in fear of one another, and that is due to the hatred we allow to win us over from doing what's right and keeping an open mind for others. It's time we come together and realize that the hatred against others can by no means resolve our differences and misunderstandings that we have. I promise whatever prejudice you hold opposed to others can be invalidated by simply being open-minded, open to conversation, and willing to learn. Resorting to violence and disrespect has never once been the resolution to any conflict. So what's the reason in doing so now? I grew up here in Chinatown, and I will always know it to be my home. Chinatown is supposed to be a secure place for our Asian community to freely live our cultural lifestyle, and is of course a place welcome to all. But it is now very disheartening to see members of this place that I call home become constantly attacked and harassed by those with prejudice and racism in their hearts, especially our Asian elders and women who are being unreasonably victimized by hate. It doesn't take much to start making a difference. As today's theme is unity against hate, we can start by showing others more compassion as we all try to navigate through these very transitional times. Division only causes more misunderstanding, so we need to unite and resolve these problems. Conversations of racism and xenophobia has been going on for years. Hate and violence rooting from racism is nothing new to us, but by now have we still not learned what's right and what's wrong? It's 2021 and we still have to live in fear from ignorance, and it's at the cost of innocent people. I know that our AAPI community will continue to fight against the hatred and discrimination against us. However, this message applies to people of all demographics, that it is time to unite against hate. Thank you.
So I think 2 more speeches. We're ready to walk to the march, okay? But before I do that, I really want to acknowledge some of my brothers. And one of my younger brothers, Taj, I know you're somewhere. If I can see you walking up, I want to see you, Taj. The other older brother is my former mayor, one of my favorite mayors, Elihu Harris. Come on, let's give it a big hand. And you know my uncle. You haven't met my uncle yet? I want you to introduce my uncle. Come on, uncle. My uncle, Paul Cobb. Let's give him a big hand from Oakland Post. And I want to say this. Our council member, Councilwoman Beverly, she wants to fly back from Washington, D.C., but she couldn't make it at this time. So she quickly sent us the acknowledgement and wanted me to speak real quick, okay? I was supposed to get my daughter from New York to say it, but I think we try to save time. So many speakers try to speak, we just, cut short. So I want to read this statement from Congresswoman Beverly. Thank you to everyone joined here today to unite against hate and to support our Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander community. We know our communities are stronger when we all stand together. We cannot and will not tolerate hate, whether it be spoken or typed, verbal or physical. We must continue to fight in solidarity with all of our neighbors and work together and find solutions that will ensure safety and protect our entire community from violence and discrimination of any kind. Thank you to everyone here today for making your voices heard. And as always, I will shine a light on the beautiful diversity and resilience of our community. I will continue to work with my colleagues in the Tri-Caucus to bring unity to our communities and put an end to this violence and hate and promote peace and justice for all. Sincerely, Beverly, Member of Congress. Let's give her a big hand. So even though there are many speakers, so they have been graciously saying that let's not do that. So I want to acknowledge and thanking the Vietnamese Chamber of Commerce, Jen Tran, and especially our African American Chamber of Commerce and President and CEO Kathy Adams. And I also want to acknowledge and of course the Latino Chamber of Commerce. And I also I want to acknowledge from a council member all the way from Ceramon, Sabina, Savar. I want to say thank you. But I know there are many people I may have forgot to mention. So please accept my apology. So I think at this time, we have 1 or 2 more speakers. So I would need to have somebody and let us know who they are, and then we'll start the march.
Thank you, Carl. All right, and this is our last speaker. I would like to bring up the Asian Pacific Islander American of Public Affairs
from the Untitled Chapter of Oakland, who's leading this national event today, President Joel Wong.
Hey, thanks for coming. Repeat after me. Asian life matters. Unity against hate. We are America. Thanks for coming. This is a big, big rally, and we need all of you to be here and let people hear our voices. Okay, America is a great country, but we have lost our way. We let things divided us. We hear messages such as China, viruses, Kung flu, Mexicans are rapists, Muslims are no good, Black lives don't matter. As a matter of fact, we are all Americans, and we all matter. So I want us to walk away with unity against hate in mind. Did you hear me? Unity against hate. Okay, to do this, we have to do three things. One, we have to get active, and this is a good way to get active. We have to stand up for our rights and get involved with the community. Number two, we have to register to vote, and we have to vote every time there is thing, okay? Number three, I don't want this to be a long message. I think we need to support our Oakland community. So after this rally, go to a restaurant, patronize them, bring your friends and family to Oakland, and spend time here because the pandemic has decimated our businesses. And we need to reunite everybody. So, repeat after me. Asian life matters. Unity against hate. We are America. Stop APPI hate. And come back and do business in Oakland and patronize and shop and eat. I'm going to bring a roast duck home because my wife is not here, okay? So thank you for coming. It's been a good rally, and let's go.
Okay, I lied. One last speaker, and that's the most important one that I think we're going to be here waiting for. I know many of you know that recently we have appointed the newly California State Attorney General. So he's going to do a lot for many of us, including the AAPI community. Every one of us, black and white, brown, everybody is important. So at this very moment, before we do the march, let's bring up our very own brother, State Attorney General Rob Bonta.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Rob Bonta, California Attorney General. Deeply honored to be here with all of you. I've been the California Attorney General for 3 weeks, and until that time, I had almost 9 incredible years of having the honor and privilege of serving this Assembly District, serving Oakland Chinatown, serving the city of Oakland, Alameda, and San Leandro. And so very thankful and honored to be here with all of you. Although I will say, I wish we were here under different circumstances, because we all know that right now, at this moment, the API community is in a full-on state of emergency, a full-on state of crisis. We have seen API beloved community members be yelled at and spit on and shoved down and punched in the face and slashed across the face and we've seen them murdered. And we know that we cannot accept the unacceptable, that we need to fight back and take action. And so one of the things that makes me so proud is that this has not just been an API community issue, that we have seen brothers and sisters from across our nation, across our state, reach out to support, leading, to help, helping us heal, helping us prevent the hate violence. So we need the unity, we need the solidarity, we need the allyship, and that is what today is about. So thank you all for being here. Let's give ourselves a round of applause for coming together against our common enemy of hate and hate violence and hate crimes. And we all know it is so important that we raise our voices. Leaders from all across the spectrum, community leaders, elected leaders, corporate leaders, and condemn and denounce what has happened too many times across this nation. That is critical. It's important to lift our voices and express our values, to say who we are and who we will be, and what we stand for and what we won't stand for. And we have done that. Today's another example. It's also important that we come together, as I mentioned, that we fight side by side, that this not just be an issue for the API community, because so many communities have faced and suffered the sting of hate in California and throughout this nation's history. Too many times, in too many places, people have been hurt and targeted and attacked because of who they are, where they're from, or who they love. And we know that is wrong, and we must always look to support each other and uplift inclusion and justice and stand against hate. But it is also important that we take action. You are taking action today by showing up and lifting up your voice. And the California Attorney General's office, the California Department of Justice, is taking action as well. Let me tell you what we're doing. We know that too many hate crimes are not identified or investigated as such. So we are working with local law enforcement to make sure we can properly identify and investigate hate crimes as the hate crimes that they are. We're also working with local law enforcement to work with our beautiful communities, our beautiful diverse communities, to make sure that we are building trust so that victims and witnesses feel comfortable coming forward, reporting hate crimes, because they will know that something will be done. We're also making sure we support our victims. We've seen too many of our API beloved seniors not be able to participate in their activities of daily living, just going through their lives without the fear and threat of being attacked. We must support all of our victims and survivors with trauma-informed care, with mental health services, with culturally competent services. And so we are doing that as well. We need to make sure we're getting accurate reporting so we know what the problem is and where it is and how we can intervene. Last week, I announced, this week, I announced that the beginning of the Racial Justice Bureau in the Department of Justice, so that we can fight back against hate, stand against hate violence, and take necessary action. I'm also proud to say that I will be joining a convening in the coming weeks with the California big city mayors, including the city of Oakland, this amazing big city, to plan and strategize about how we can protect you. Let me end with this. My job, I see the California Attorney General as being the people's attorney, being your attorney. My job is to make your fights my fights, to have your back, to fight for you. And right now we are in a full-on state of crisis, a full-on fight against hate. So that will be my fight. I will fight against hate. I will have your back. I will fight for you and make sure we're pushing back against hate violence and hate crimes. Thank you.
Thank you, me as Banja's husband, Rob. So that's about women power. Okay, we are about to do the march. So we're gonna how to scream that what we want to say. But before we will start the march, I want to tell you where we're gonna go. Okay, so we're gonna start and with the yellow whistle, and many of us will start on 8th Street, walk down to Broadway, coming back on 11th, and then back to the Plaza. When we are done, we want you to patronize our business. Oh, you've been attacked. This guy is black. I want you to remember this. It's not about black, it's about white, Asian, Hispanic. This is about racism. It's not the people. It's the racism that we want to stop. So I want people to understand. We are not here against black people, white people, Hispanic, or even Asian, our own people. It's not that. It's racism that we want to stop. So this is what we need to scream and yell. I'm sorry, nicely yell. So what we say, what do we want? Unity. When do you want it? Now. What do we support? Local business. How do we make change? Vote. Once again, what do we want? When do you want it? What do we support? How do we make change? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Let's do it one more time and you start walking. One more time. What do we want? When do we want it? Who do we support? How do we make change? All right, let's start walking that direction down on 8th Street and then back on Broadway. So, okay, so I need the marching order.